everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to my TBR for the 2016 BookTubeAthon. So I have very huge doubts about my ability to read anything during the BookTubeAthon this year. So as I've just spoken about in the video I filmed before this one, I'm about to start studying. I'm about to start a bachelor degree at uni. I don't know how busy I'm going to be. I think the week of the BookTubeAthon is when things are really going to kick in. So I might not be able to read anything at all during that week. I don't know, but I've got a soft spot for the BookTubeAthon. It's the reason that I joined in the first place 2 years ago. My first video was my BookTubeAthon TBR. I got caught up, swept up in the excitement that was BookTubeAthon. So I kind of still want to make a somewhat attempt. It was always interesting to try and do the BookTubeAthon around full-time work, or any readathon really. Now on top of full-time work I'm going to have half-time study, so I think my chances are pretty slim, but I picked out some stuff for the TBR and we'll just see what happens. So the first challenge is to read a book with yellow on the cover, and this is something I was meant to read as part of a failed readathon last month, and that is this one, which is The Android by K. Applegate, which is the 10th book in the Animal series. Completely forgotten where I was up to. Of course, this is my readathon staple these days, and it's very conveniently quite yellow. So this one I didn't manage to get to last month, but I will maybe read it during the BookTubeAthon week. The second challenge is to only read a book after sunset, so only during the night hours. I could very easily use the Animals book for that. We'll see what happens. But I also have a few graphic novels that I still have out from the library that I, had as possibilities for another readathon ages ago, so, they could work. And so here I still have the second volume of Lumberjanes and the first and second volumes of Sex Criminals. So here's a handful of things that I really need to get to and return to the library. So one of those I could read after sunset. The third challenge is to read a book that you discovered through BookTube. So the graphic novels that I've just shown could work as that. I've also got a graphic novel that I've picked out as the actual thing for this challenge that I will hopefully be reading, and it's a spoiler for my June book haul, which I'll be hopefully filming after this video, and that is this one, which is Take It As a Compliment by Maria Stoyan, and this is one of the picks for July for the Feminist Orchestra Book Club, so something that I really want to get to. I am completely failing at reading the books for the Feminist Orchestra Book Club, but this one seemed like a good month to get back on the bandwagon. It's a graphic novel, and the premise of this one sounds incredibly powerful. I've been really interested after seeing people speak about this one throughout the year, so I'm very much looking forward to this, if that is the right thing to say, because this is a graphic novel that deals with true accounts of sexual assault and sexual abuse, both from a female and male perspective, and I've read the first couple in here, and it's going to be quite powerful, I think, but very important, so I'm definitely hoping to get this one read during this week, if nothing else. The fourth challenge is to read a book by one of your favourite authors, and for that I've got this one, which is A Pocket Full of Rye by Agatha Christie. This is my July pick for my Agatha Christie project, so I'm wanting to read it at some point during this month anyway, and she is one of my absolute favourites, so perfect choice. This one is one of her Miss Marple stories, one I've never read before and don't know a thing about, but I might just dive in that way, so hoping that I can get this one read during the week too. The fifth challenge is to read a book that's older than you, so that could again be A Pocket Full of Rye, which was first published, I think I'm up to the 50s now, in my read through. This one was first published in 1953, so definitely older than I am. The next challenge is to read and watch a book-to-movie adaptation. I've got a couple of thoughts about this one. One may be slightly more likely than the other because it's a lot shorter, but we'll see what happens. I'm putting a TBR out there. I don't trust that I will read any of this, so just warning you. So the first one I have is The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare, so this one will be quite short because it's a play, and my thought with this one is to read the play and then watch 10 Things I Hate About You, because it's been a very, very, very long time since I've seen that movie, and it is an adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew. This is also a book that I should have read for my quite defunct school books project that I started last year. I was up to year 11. This was a book that I studied in year 11, so that could make some progress on that maybe. So that's one option I have for the book to movie adaptation challenge. Another one that I just saw on my shelves as I was coming to film, and I thought I'd throw that in there too because it's something I've been meaning to read for a very, very long time. So another idea that I have for this one is to read and watch 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. This is a classic of science fiction that I've never read and never seen, so it's about time that I finally get to this one. And this one is an interesting choice for this challenge because it kind of goes the other way in that this book is based on the screenplay, which is also written by Arthur C. Clarke and of course Stanley Kubrick, and I think they were produced quite concurrently, like they came out around the same time. But in either case, instead of being a direct book to movie adaptation, it's kind of a movie to book adaptation in a way. And in either case, it is a sci-fi classic that I have never experienced in either form, and that's a crime. And then the last challenge, as always, is to read 7 books, and if I read all of the things that I've shown you here, so the handful of graphic novels that I had for the Read After Sunset challenge, and the books, and then one of The Taming of the Shrew and 2001: A Space Odyssey, then that would be 7 books. This is the year that I'm most dubious about finishing all of the challenges, let alone any of the challenges. In the past, it's been interesting, as I said, reading around full-time work, and in general I was getting most of my reading done on the weekends, but now I foresee a lot of my weekends are going to be taken up with study, so watch this space. In either case, as I said, I've got quite a soft spot for the BookTubeAthon because it's, why I'm here at all. It's what actually gave me the push to start a channel without really deciding to do so. So I couldn't not put out a TBR video for this and, to try and plan something. As I said, I've got 4 graphic novels and a children's book and potentially a play, and then an Agatha Christie, so a fairly light load, I guess, but we will see. I've got to have some study break times, but complete unknown quantity at the moment. So if you're going to be participating in the BookTubeAthon, let me know in the comments what you're planning on reading, and good luck to everybody. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully soon. Bye.